Hi Beauties, Jireh here. So happy Sunday, guys. Oh man, I'm so blessed. I feel so happy. So hopefully this is not a real long video, but we'll see because I have a little story time. But what's really on my heart, this is just fresh off the press. Is that what they say? Fresh off the stove, fresh out of the oven. Like, this just happened to me, you guys. And so while I was coming home, I was like, I need to make a video of this, and it is letting go of the need to be right. And so little story time. I'll just start from today. So I went to breakfast this morning with a friend, and we had gotten into this conversation, ridiculous conversation, about birthstones and zodiacs and the dates and the ranges where those lies. And I'm not I do not zodiac signs, the astrology, take that to the birds, Jesus Christ, that's right there, And so this individual was telling me oh, you're this kind of birthstone, and I was like, actually I'm a sapphire because I'm in September. And they're like, no, I know that you're this birthstone because my mom is a Virgo as well, because she was from August, her birthday's August 21st, and Virgo is August 22nd to September 21st, and the Virgo stone is this green stone, and not emerald, but it's like a light green. And I was like, I believe that is correct about the dates for Virgo, but the Virgo is the sapphire because it's in September, and the birthstone for September is the sapphire. And they were like, no, that's not true, because my mom would always wear this green stone, and when I asked her about it, she said it was her birthstone and her birthday was in August, but she was a Virgo and all this other stuff. And so I was like, okay, and they're like, no, it's not okay, that's true, that's right, sorry, I'm just I am even rethinking, I'm like, this is so stupid, and I was just like, okay, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to keep arguing with you? And so I was just like, okay. They're like, no, I'm gonna prove it to you, I'm gonna show you. So they get their phone and they start looking it up, and this individual is also older than me, so while they're looking it up, they're telling me you keep trying to tell me that I'm wrong, and I've been around for 60 years, and so I know this information. Do you think I was walking around for 60 years with the wrong information, saying the wrong thing? And I'm just like, okay. And so then they stop talking, and they're like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so it's this. Oh, wow, so I'm actually this and stuff. They're like, okay, wow, you know what? The Virgo is actually the sapphire. Oh, okay, so oh, my mom was wearing the wrong stone. Oh my God, wow, I can't believe I didn't know this for all this time. Oh my God, I can't believe I had the wrong information. I was saying the wrong information this whole time. Okay. I stand corrected, ha ha ha. And then I was just like, yeah, ha ha ha. But then afterwards, it was I was sitting there and I was thinking dang, I can't tell you anything. Nobody can tell you anything. You have to be right. And then I started observing how I personally was feeling, just because I was in the presence of somebody who I even valued and honored a little, and this person wouldn't even value or honor my words of, even if it is what I thought to be true, it wasn't, they wouldn't even accept it, It was just no, you're wrong, until they had to look up the information for themselves and be like, oh wow, you are right. It's almost oh wow, you do know something. And so I started thinking dang, have I done that to people? Have I made people feel oh, he was Jay, you don't always have to be right. Dang, man. And I was like, and then that was like okay, well, like, I'm sorry, you know? But at first I was thinking, I was like, no, like, I'm proving my point, blah, blah, blah. But then now, having that same experience done to me, I'm thinking, like, you don't always have to be right. Like, really, at the end of the day, if you are the one proven right in that conversation, what does that do for the relationship? You know, how does that make that other person feel? How does that, you know, either fill up or lower your love tank? You know, what's the benefit of it? Sometimes I think what is most or more important is evaluating how that other person in a conversation is feeling. Like, how are you making someone else feel? Like, are you allowing them to be heard? Are you allowing them to see or feel through your actions that their words are valued? You know, like, can you just listen to them? You know, can you just sit there and appreciate what they have to say, regardless if they're wrong? My gosh. And so I had these tips came to me while I was driving home, and then I just came up here to give them to you guys because I was like, So I feel like, and I'm gonna start applying these, and these are just things that I think that you can take with you in moving forward in conversations, to let go of that need to be right and just live. I feel like that's gonna help relationships so much, you know. Relationships, men and women, and then just like work relationships, job relationships, same thing, friend relationships, family relationships, you know. But okay, my notes, y'all. Number 1, I put, just be secure in knowing your truth, okay? One thing that I do feel like I was proud of myself in, because right now I'm really really looking at the way that I'm responding to things. I want to be an individual who responds properly and not just reacts, and just being more accountable of you know, my attitude and my responses and my deliveries and whatnot and stuff like that, because obviously it's growth. But I put, be secure in knowing your truth. So one thing that I was proud of myself was like when they were telling me, no, you're this and you're that, and explaining it to me, and I had countered them one time like, no, I actually think I'm this because of this, that, and the other. When they came back at me like, no, I know it's this because of blah, 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 I was just like, okay. And then that was it. I was just okay in knowing what I know. And even if I don't know what I know, I'm going to go research it. It's another tip. I'm going to go research it later, but I'm not going to sit here in a conversation and argue the point over birthstones, you know, argue the point over like birth months or birth, you know, zodiacs or something that I don't even care about. You know, I'm not going to sit here. I don't care about that. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And then I put number 2, be willing to listen. Because sometimes I feel like people want to be right so much, but it's only because they're not willing to listen. Because when this individual was agreeing with the article, the Google article that they were reading, and they were telling me everything that Google article was saying, it was everything that I had initially said to them. So I was like, just be willing to listen, you know? And like, I mean, even if you don't have to research it, even if you guys don't look it up right then and there, take what the person is saying with a grain of salt and just take it as like, oh, this is their belief or this is their perspective, because everything is from someone's perspective anyways, you know? Research yourself. Do your own research. If you're having a conversation and you're like, yes, an apple's orange, and they're like, no, an apple's yellow, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. On to the next subject. When you get home, you research what color the apple is. You know, an apple's orange. Yeah, that's a good one. Sorry, I just had a moment with myself. You know, like, but you research it for yourself and you find out what color the apple is, and then if it's like the apple's orange, you were right. Amen. Keep it moving. If you find out the apple's yellow, it's like, oh, they were right. But you don't have to sit there in the conversation and argue about the apple being orange or yellow, or make them feel like they don't know what they're talking about, or, you know, they're stupid or whatnot. And I put the next one, let it go. Who cares? Like, just let it go. If it's something that is not going to determine if you live or die in the next 5 seconds, does it really matter? You know, the only time you really need to be right, like you need to know what you know, well, let me not say that, but another time, the only time you need to know what you know is like if you're probably faced with a bomb and somebody has to cut the wires. Like if I say cut the red wire and you're like, no, I know it's to cut the blue wire. If you know that you need to cut that blue wire, then cut that blue wire. But if you don't know, then, you know, let's look it up and let's find out who's right, because this is life or death. But if it's not life or death, let it go, and who cares? Like, just move on. Save the relationship. And then the last one I put is evaluate the importance. You know, like, if it's something that's not gonna take your life away today or tomorrow or forever, if it's something that's not gonna take your life away, let it go. You know, maybe I should have put these in like order of importance. I would probably say, like, let me see how I would do this. Be willing to listen, or evaluate the importance. Be willing to listen. Research yourself. Let it go. Or be secure in knowing your truth and let it go. You know, like, those are the tips that I would say to letting go of the need to always be right, you know, and instead of always trying to be right or always trying to think that you know what you're talking about, sometimes, or moving forward, I would say that would be the more proper word. Moving forward, think about how the other person you're in a conversation with is feeling. You know, think about how you can make them feel just by listening to them, just by hearing them, just by valuing their words, just by just agreeing with them, you know, just agreeing with them. Even if you know they're wrong, agreeing with them. And then maybe tomorrow you can come back and be like, hey, I heard what you said yesterday, and I was curious, so I even did some more research, and look at what I found. And even if you find out that, I mean, obviously you find out that they're wrong, and it's like you send it to them, that now both of you guys could be like, oh, wow, okay, that's interesting. And now it's more of like a, hey, you're my friend, you value me, you heard what I said, and you even took what I said and you checked up on it because my words held weight to you. And then because this information wasn't correct, what I told you, you're now helping me with the correct information, so we can both be correct, so that we can both know the truth, so that we can both, you know, be spreading greatness. And I think that's a different kind of, like, that's like now honor, you know, like, all right, I got you, instead of just like, can't tell you nothing, you know, I can't talk to you about anything because it's not gonna matter. Like, if we don't look it up on Google, then you're gonna have to be right, you know? And so that's just a little thing that I wanted to come in and give you guys. My gosh, I'm going to get so much better with my filming schedule. So I love you guys. I moved in and it was crazy. So I did a video and it was a good video, but I gotta redo it because, like, I gotta talk about it. But in that video, I just spoke about how I moved into my new apartment. I'm in here right now. And so the setup is obviously going to be different, but for a while my videos were on and off just because of like moving and trying to situate the house and working and stuff. So now I got my little flow down, so back at it. But I love you guys, and I'm so grateful that you guys came to the channel and watched this video. And moving forward, just be kind, guys, and think of others. Think about how you can make others feel. Think about your decisions. Hold yourself accountable. You know, be smart and take ownership of your lives. All right? Bye.